Hi, welcome to the Custodial Cast, and today we're going to be talking about toxic fan bases. So to start us off, let's just talk about TikTok.
Oh, I got
Oh
I
no.
got some things
Let's
to
not
say.
go there. Let's not go there, please.
Why not?
I don't like
Why not?
TikTok.
I
It's
want to
full of
go there.
toxic people.
I have some things to
It's
say.
full of
But
toxic
first of
people.
TikTok
all,
is one of the most toxic apps there out there.
okay,
Charlie
Yeah, that
D'Amelio.
sounds true.
this is going to be controversial. This is going to be controversial. But I don't think TikTok itself is toxic. And hear me
I
out.
know, it's just
Hear
the
me out. Hear me
people.
out.
Why?
I think the people who hate on TikTok are toxic. I think that some groups of people in TikTok are toxic. But not all of TikTok is toxic. I think there are
No, of course
some
not.
50% agree with that. A lot of the people,
50%.
I mean, usually apps aren't toxic when they right off the start.
Yeah.
It's always the people, the users that make it toxic.
Well, would you say
Like,
the dancing category is toxic? The people who do those
Yes.
weird hand signs.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Because of
The
Charlie
fans
D'Amelio
of it.
and her
Well,
Really?
followers.
it's not just them.
Well,
It's
Charlie
not just
D'Amelio's
them.
followers are toxic because they defend her. But is Charlie D'Amelio toxic
Right, but
herself?
No,
they don't
the
defend her. They
influencers are
attack
never
people
really
Dude.
who
toxic.
disagree or don't think Charlie deserves it to be as famous as she is.
Like, as much as I'm cringing
for example,
trying to defend.
there's a guy who had made a video saying or made a comment saying that Charlie, like, there was a video of her like dancing in a bikini or something, and he thought it was inappropriate for someone her age to be dancing and something like that, and all of her followers went after him, calling him for body shaming her, and he even made a video about it, like talking about how that's not what he was trying to do. He was trying to tell people that it's not appropriate for someone that age to be dancing like
No, yeah,
in such
I
little
said
clothing. And
Charlie.
I don't disagree with the guy, but I also don't think it's really his business. But that doesn't mean you
Yeah,
go
that's
attack
true.
him
That's true.
because
Yeah.
he's actually worried about her safety more than anything. Like
Yeah, 'cause
like
of the-
there are a
Like,
lot of
opposite the
bad
people
people
are
on
against.
TikTok who are like, "Ooh, Charlie posted a new video. Let's see if I can I don't know, fucking
masturbate to it or something.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
you know,
Like seriously,
like some
I'm not even
people are like
kidding.
that.
No,
Like,
yeah, I
No,
get what
it's
you
like
mean. I
it's
get what
there
you
are
mean.
bad people on
excuse.
TikTok who are gonna like. I don't think the guy who called her out was in the wrong. It's not really
No.
his business to say so, but he has the right to do it if
No,
he
and I
wants.
completely agree. The fan base is super toxic. Like, and they don't think either before they speak. They just speak, thinking they're defending
Exactly.
Charlie D'Amelio. However, my question was, do you guys think Charlie D'Amelio herself is toxic? Like, did she create that toxicity? I don't think so myself. I just think that's
I just
Sometimes.
feel like
natural
she-
for
her-
the
she-
fans and some people who simp. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I'm probably allowed to say that on YouTube, not on Twitch though. Twitch is stupid.
Nah,
But
YouTube's gonna
No,
ban
herself,
that too
she's
now.
not toxic.
yeah,
She's not,
I
like,
just think the
supporting, "Oh,
people who
guys,
simp for
go
her.
out and defend me and then be super like whatever." Like, she's not supporting that. It's
Yeah.
just her
But then
target
she doesn't do
demographic.
anything when her followers take down an entire channel for body shaming, even though that's not what he did.
Okay,
I mean,
that
it has nothing
yeah,
on her.
that
It's
is
no
kind
skin
of
off
on
her
her.
back
That's
for
on
that to
her
be
though.
done.
Yeah. If she
Like,
doesn't
she
do
has to
anything,
say something.
yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
that
that's
makes
no
sense.
skin off her back if it goes down. Like, nothing affects her for that. It doesn't affect her in any shape, way, or form. If a guy,
But-
if some random user gets shut down by your fan base.
I wanted to also say that it's not just her in general, because I saw this, and it's not just like even though she's mostly not toxic, there are some users that are kind of toxic. Like, I saw this one where it was you guys heard of the vegan teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw that, and a lot of people are going like at war against her because a lot of people are thinking she's forcing people to become vegan, and
I mean,
you know
she
what?
is, but
Yeah, she is. That's not the point I'm trying to get at. The point I'm trying to get at is like, oh, if she just wants to do that, that's fine, but people shouldn't just go all out against her for what she believes in.
I mean, she's
Right, but she doesn't have.
she's enforcing that to a really large uh community of just TikTok. So I mean, she kind of has it coming. Usually when you force something on people, they will retaliate.
Wait, is this about like someone forcing other people to be vegan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's stupid on her. That's her fault. She shouldn't force other people to be what they don't want to be, you know? That makes no
Like
sense.
she was going out saying that if you're not vegan, then you're not like Christian, like the religion,
Yeah.
Christianity.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that's over the line. You can't just say you won't go to heaven if you're not vegan or something. You can't just say that
Yeah.
because that goes with people's core beliefs,
Mhm.
and that can really mess with a huge portion of people on the app.
Yeah. I think if she wants to do it, that's fine. But if she wants other people to suffer with her, I wouldn't think that's fine. In my opinion,
I
it's
mean,
suffering
she's
because
going about it the wrong way. Like, there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with like showing your support for being vegan
Yeah.
or something. Like, you can show your points of why it's good, but like the way she does it is wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm looking some of it up now, and it's pretty funny. There's a few videos like Gordon Ramsay. Uh, he's responding to her video, and he's actually like
I've
eating
seen
a
that.
whole-on beef burger.
I've seen that.
Gordon
What a
is
fucking Chad.
It's
No,
pretty
but I should say that it's not only just TikTok doing this. There's also like other sorts of medias, most notably Twitter, that's super toxic.
Oh, don't even get started with me on
Okay, well,
Twitter.
let me get things
Oh
straight.
my God, Twitter.
Let me get things straight. I want to make things clear that in my opinion, I don't think it's the app themselves that are toxic. I think it's the fan base of the person who people are watching or being entertained by. I don't think it's the person themselves. I don't think it's the app. I think it's their fan base, okay? Like Trump,
It's not
for
only that,
example, it's not necessarily, well, I mean, he's kind of toxic too, but I'd say it's also his fan base in a way who's toxic. Same with like other people like Charlie D'Amelio, uh, name
right.
other people, insert names.
But then,
Yeah,
tell me why it's only, right, right side of the political spectrum people on Twitter who get banned and stuff. But
Yeah,
the
what's up
people
with
on the
that,
left can
actually?
say just about whatever they want and get away with it. It's not that the app is not toxic because the people who made the app are,
What?
which means the
there.
app is too. As long as
I
they're in
think
control of it, then it's
How do you know
toxic.
the whole right and left thing is true?
Because you could look at the app and you just somehow see it. That's really it.
Dude, Donald
Like if
Yeah,
Trump
people
there's a
get
got
huge
taken
canceled,
there's
like
down
recently
people
a
because
mostly on the
huge
right.
purge of right wing accounts
Donald
on
is it
Twitter.
Trump,
people who
Chris
wanted to raid
Pratt.
the Capitol?
No, no, not just
Let me
no,
that.
look
You
it
just
know
up
like
real
Chris
quick.
political
Pratt.
leaders.
I'll pull
Like
it
Chris
up for you.
Pratt,
Give me a
like
sec.
he recently said that he's leaning more conservative and he voted for Trump. People canceled him on Twitter for that.
That's true. I was talking with
Just for
Danny
that
about that
reason?
the other night.
Yeah,
Yes,
just for
I'm
that
not gonna
sole
believe it
reason he's
until I
conservative.
actually look at the evidence. But once I look at the
I've
evidence and actually see, then I'll believe it.
I've seen that like a few
Fine, I'll look
months
it up right
ago.
now.
I've seen like that a few months ago, and like most of those similar actors that work with him in similar movies, such as like Marvel movies, are Democratic. And when Chris Pratt said that, and he almost got canceled, most of those actors actually defended him. So I don't really think those actors are toxic, but then there are some actors that are toxic. I don't know any ones that specifically, but I just know that there's a majority, and that if they were in those actors' shoes, they probably wouldn't have defended him.
All right. Well, the point I'm trying to make, anyways, I'm not trying to get too political, anyways, but like the point I'm trying to make is it's not the apps themselves, it's the people who follow certain fan bases. And before you guys are like, no, but Twitter's left side or something like that, it's not Twitter, it's the creator of Twitter. Or like the creators of Twitter, which just means that they're a part of a bigger fan base, the Democratic side.
I mean, yeah, none of the apps are made to be toxic. Like TikTok when they're making it, they're not expecting for a ton of people to just follow people and be toxic. That's just kind of a thing. Like it's like the popularity
Yeah.
versus time chart. Like the over time goes and popularity goes, and then the popularity, then the more toxic it goes. Like it's
Yeah.
sort of like a
I just
positive direction.
Yeah,
Like
I just think
a
it's
positive.
inevitable for like people who get famous to eventually have some sort of toxic fan base. Like for the most part, for most people, maybe for some, there's no toxic fan base. I don't know. I'll have
I
to.
feel like most toxic fan bases start like just by false information. That's just a big thing, false information. Because I
Yeah,
feel like that could easily just get into people's minds and mess with them, and then they get angry because they weren't told the truth.
yeah. I completely agree. I definitely think you gotta look things up before you speak about things, and then I also think like false information spreading and rumors, that's a big part of toxic fan bases.
Yeah, but a lot of the time it's not about just false information. Some of the stuff that is true that some people, not being political, but just like any other sort of belief on any topic, some people just can't take criticism for someone they love. Like this goes back to TikTok.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
like one time a few months ago I commented on a video and it was like sort of criticizing like one of her videos about something really stupid in it, like
Mhm.
Charli D'Amelio. And immediately in one day, I had 350 replies, and they were all well. There's just one dude that said I'm a legend, and then there was the rest of them were just the rest of them were just like, oh, they're just throwing hate at me in like every
Yeah.
way. They're just like, you're just jealous. You don't have that many followers, and then some. There's a really hurtful one that I probably shouldn't say because a lot of slurs in it, but it's just like in the span of one day, they all just came out on the criticizing people.
Wait. Who was the creator? Like, what? Who were you commenting for?
I'm not. I'm
Like,
not
what?
gonna say. I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to throw any hate to them. Charlie Emilio. Oh, excuse me.
God
Sorry,
damn.
but I don't want to throw any hate to anyone about it, to who it was.
What a legend.
All right, and this kind of, I mean, this is kind of taking away the topic that we were talking about, but like, do you guys think toxic fan bases are always a bad thing? Like, this sounds stupid, but if you
Usually,
think about it,
Mostly.
sometimes, like, would you think being toxic? I don't know, because, like, what's your definition of being toxic? That's what we gotta clear up first.
No, I would like I should say this that the only time I think being toxic is good is when it's for, the greater good. Like when you're actually trying your best to stop something. Like people being toxic on SeaWorld because, it's rumored that, SeaWorld's not the best place for sea animals
Yeah.
and they're trying to stop them. See, that's kind of a good thing. I'm not saying I do or do not
Well,
support
that's not
them.
toxic. That's legitimate concern over
that's
animals'
just
health and
cancel
safety.
culture at that point. And this
It's
is
not
that
even
goes
That is
back to the
cancel.
actually.
cancel culture video. And if you haven't seen the cancel culture video, click on the top right corner, and you should be able to see it right now.
Nice job to
But
plug it in.
that's
Let's
just canceling. That's not
go.
being
Yeah, like shameless plug.
Let's go. Shameless plugs. Yeah,
no,
so
that's not being toxic. That's just cancel culture at that point. Which some cancel culture is good, like no one said
yeah.
in the first video.
Right. That you should totally check out. Link
Yeah,
in
not all,
description.
not, but
Make sure to
that's
like,
just
comment,
that's
and
just my
subscribe.
point. Okay, this isn't an ad for our previous videos. The point I'm trying to get at is,
Ow.
uh, not all toxic fan bases are bad. Most of them are,
No,
but not
if
all
it's
of them.
if it's toxic, it's bad. That's why it's
Well, Nolan,
toxic.
Toxic
what's
is
your
bad.
definition of
If
toxic?
it's not toxic, it's a movement. It's a supportive movement to help something.
Like you guys, you know what stands are, right? Super fans.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it's like stands. Stands
Yeah.
are not stands are like super fans of someone. Like I'm not going out and be like, oh, you shouldn't be super fans. Like if you like this person, you like this music, you like this
Yeah.
artist or whatever. Like I'm not gonna say that's bad. But toxic fans are stands. Really, they really are. But they take it to the next level of being defensive. It's like being a stand plus defensive is toxic fan. Like
Yep.
you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah,
Like
kind of,
toxic
yeah.
fans are like really like super fans most like a lot of the time. Like almost 90% of the time they are. But they're just
Mhm.
defensive and they can't allow people, especially the people against them or that don't like them, they can't stand seeing like hate or criticism towards them,
And you
Hmm.
see,
which
that's where
Imagine.
the creators have to step up and lead their community into the right direction of not being toxic by saying, if people criticize me, they criticize me. They have the right to disagree with me or they have the right to not like what I'm doing. But I don't care what they say. I'm going to do how I do.
All right, so.
Um,
Oh, wait, no, you can continue if I interrupted. My bad.
no, yeah. So, the creators have a responsibility to keep their fan bases from becoming toxic. Just because, they're not the ones being toxic themselves doesn't mean they're part of the problem. They're not part of the problem because they definitely are. if they can't control their own fan base. And obviously, you can't completely control them, but you definitely need to like try and say something at least. But I've never
Yeah, I
seen
feel like
Charlie
yeah.
ever try and tell her followers, don't go after this person who disagreed with me or told me I shouldn't be
It's
doing
not
this.
just. I understand if she doesn't say that for one person, but I would be a little concerned. I would care if they actually say, "Don't go out for my haters." Although I do feel like ashamed that they don't like me, I still respect their opinions.
It's like I feel like when you get that popular, it's sort of a responsibility for you to like be aware of what your fans are doing. Like I feel like when you have millions on millions of followers or subscribers or wherever, it's sort of like an entitlement. That's something that you don't really see in the fine print of being famous. Like you kind of have to maintain your fans and control them because
Right.
people will think that you're the same way because it will, like we said in the cancel culture video again, your community reflects on what you put out there,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing. It's kind of like you have to be responsible for what they do almost. Not responsible, that's a bad way to put it, but you kind of have to be aware what they're doing
Right.
and
And
just
that's where you have to say something like if you go after and attack these people, you're not a real fan. My you're not one of my supporters. You're just I don't know how to put it, but yeah, if you go out and attack people, then you're not a real fan. You're just trying too hard. You're trying to get into a fight for no reason. You want to get people upset. You want to be toxic. And that then you seclude them the um from the community, and you don't let them be part of who you are as a community and who you are as a creator.
yeah, and
But
it's not
wouldn't
just
that?
on. Oh, what were you saying?
Oh no, you could go. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna switch over to like it's not only on social media,
Oh
it's
wait.
also
Yeah.
just in games as well. Like any game that you love, sometimes it can be ruined just by the people on it.
Yeah, before you switch, I just want to like bust out an example really quick. So you guys are saying like you can't be cruel to other people like because you're defending someone else. Well, let's just say let's just put it for examples you're this one person, you're a famous popular dude. Someone else is also famous and popular and they like say something really cruel and immoral to you. They're being toxic to you basically. So your fans react and show toxic messages to him. Is that necessarily a bad thing? Because here, wait, let me put it more in an extreme
No,
perspective.
it's not a good thing because you're stooping down to their level and you have to be mature about it. You
No,
have
but
to
what
be
if
the
they
one who
really said something like really, 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 really shitty? Like they did something
and
shitty too.
that's when you decide to
That's
bring
when they're
out cancel
toxic.
culture, because that's when cancel culture becomes necessary, when someone is becoming violently or dangerously um, abusive with their words. There's a difference between joking around with a friend and then there's, hate speech, which is inciting violence against somebody.
Yeah, but what if they don't learn from their mistakes?
They don't learn from their mistakes.
And
Well,
that's
then
They don't learn, they
that's
don't learn. That's really it.
that's it.
you
Nothing
can't
really
do
about it.
anything about that.
No, but then they'll just keep coming back. What do you
No,
do?
because
Well,
they'll keep getting canceled is what'll happen.
Yeah, but
And that sort of goes with being popular. Like it's sort of like that sort of positive direction graph where like the more popular you are, the more toxic you'll get. But so like the more popular you get, the more attention you'll get. And it's usually not always like positive and good feedback. It's a lot of negative and toxic
yeah,
and some
Well, that's
canceling as
not
well.
necessarily true because YouTube channels like Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie, the bigger
They
they've
get a lot of
gotten, the
hate.
more the
They
more
do
the
get a lot of
more
hate.
generous they've become. Jacksepticeye every month does a donation live stream. At least he did last year, and he would raise money and he'd donate it to charities like Red Nose Foundation. I know he did one, and so not growing doesn't mean that you're toxic. It's because he's grown that he's been able to do
No,
these
I'm
kinds of
just
things.
saying that I'm not saying that the more popular you get, the more toxic you'll get. I'm saying that the more popular you'll get, the more hate you'll get. And some of the hate can
Oh,
be
that's
really toxic.
yeah.
Like I know he does the streams. I watch him on like not a daily basis, but I do watch him a good amount of time. And he does good things, but some people, I mean, he has been canceled before, if you didn't know. He's been
He
canceled a
did?
couple times before. Yeah, a couple times. Some of them, one time, they canceled him because they thought he said the N-word, but he didn't. But people thought he did because his accent made it sound like it did. But, and then like PewDiePie, he's getting a lot of hate. Like, he gets 100 million, like,
Yeah,
off a while ago. But
he's been
that's a lot of
there's been
followers.
multiple attempts to take down his channel because he's made a few mistakes. Like I remember
Yeah,
one in
like he's made
particular.
mistakes.
There
Yeah.
was when he had allegedly dressed up in a Nazi uniform in one of his videos.
Yeah, like those
Just a
were like
quick fact check for you guys. That's a British military uniform. So he wasn't actually he wasn't actually being, a what's the word for it? Anti-Semitic when wearing that.
Yeah,
Now he has had controversies in the past where he's had something like that actually happen, but they tried to cancel him for something he didn't do, which was wearing a Nazi uniform. He did not wear one. He wore a British military uniform. And so that's where people need to take a look at the facts before they go out and start trying to cancel somebody or to become toxic towards them.
yeah, but like the more popular you get, it's like you'll get more hate, but some accounts more than others. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye, they might not get as much as like um Jake Paul or like Logan Paul, like or
Well,
like
see,
those
now
people.
there's a little bit of a difference there because Jake
Yeah,
Paul and
dude, but
Logan
like you know how
Paul
they
have
get more
they've
popular,
always been
you get more
posting
hate.
material
But some
that
some
has
accounts more than others.
Yeah,
brought
That they
Jake Paul
on
literally
the
called out
hate that they
Conor
get.
McGregor and insulted his
yeah.
wife. Like he deserves that shit.
Like yeah,
Yeah, it depends on what they
there's a
do.
point
Like
where you
Oh
know
yeah.
what,
Wait, he
like
if you're gonna be an idiot, you better expect some of that stuff. Obviously, it's still not right,
mhm.
but you can't play victim because you are constantly making the same mistakes over and over again because it's not even a mistake anymore. It's just who you are. You're a bad person if you're constantly acting the way that Jake Paul and Logan Paul do. And so at that point, it's not even toxic to tell them what they're doing is stupid or that they need to act like adults, because you know what, they've done so
You gotta
many
set a good role model
irresponsible
for your
things.
community.
So they really need to learn how to, control themselves and act like adults when they're on their YouTube channel because they have so many followers and they're impacting the lives of children. It's not like adults are looking at it and like, oh, ha ha ha, this is like a skit. He's obviously not really this stupid and making videos like this. But no, kids are watching this and they're thinking like,
Kids are
oh
taking it
wow, this is how I
literally.
have to act to be cool, and this is how I'm gonna become the next YouTube star. Like, no, no, please don't start acting
yeah.
like he does.
Well,
Like
since
a
we're on
lot
the
of
topic
like
of,
Logan Paul
oh
and
sorry.
Jake Paul, their target like demographic audience for their community is just like younger kids. You're not gonna get like 30, 40-year-old. I mean, you'll get some, like there's outliers, but you're not just gonna get adults that know like their sort of jokes or know their sort of
And they're
like
not joking
typical
most of
way.
the time either. They're acting like children constantly.
Yeah. Because it's easier to relate to children more than to relate to adults because everyone was a child at some point in their life, but
Right, but
not
if you're gonna
everyone's an
Yeah.
adult. So it's easier to like show and reflect more of a childish sort of comedy or like clout
right, but
content.
you can make, content for kids that's still funny without
Yeah, no, it's just
being
they take it in
irresponsible.
a bad way.
Like being utterly irresponsible and taking videos of people who hung themselves in a forest, that's not content that, I would want a 6-year-old to see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's the irresponsibility that they've constantly shown on their YouTube content.
Well, yeah. Speaking of like all these YouTubers and stuff that like isn't appropriate for them. What do you guys think of like toxic fan bases in like video games and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
toxic fan bases in video games are is going to be a tough one to beat, man. There's a lot of different communities where the toxicity is just unbelievable.
I think the
Yeah,
difference
almost. Oh,
between
yeah.
toxic fan bases and toxic video games is the fact that toxic fan bases, as much as you hate to hear it, they have some sort of reason for why they're being toxic. Like they're trying to defend someone or blah 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 blah. They hate on
No,
someone
toxic
because they
fan
did
bases
something.
are in games. Fan for the
No, yeah,
games.
yeah,
Fan
no, I
bases
know.
for the
But
games.
the difference between toxic gamers and toxic fan bases is that gamers get pissed off at a game and they just take it out on another player or the developer of the game itself. Yeah. Yeah, I have been in that loop as well because I've played Fortnite, so as many other people, and like as much as you don't want to admit it, it's true. We most of us have played Fortnite before,
Yeah,
and
but
we've
is it
gotten
really a
pissed off.
coincidence that some games more than others have more ragers, more people that get mad? Is it really that much of a coincidence that that happens? Like for Fortnite, is it a coincidence that there's more of those ragers that go out on other players?
It's because it's
It's
all
not really that
children.
much of a coincidence. That's just
It's
being
mostly
toxic.
children who think they can talk however they want when they play those video games. Like,
Yeah,
for
because
example,
children don't
there's a
like
kid on
children
my.
don't know. Oh, you go, you go.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so I was just saying like children don't know how to like control their like emotions as much as like older teens to adults, like streamers or gamers.
Yeah.
Like you don't see. I mean, part of that is just putting on a good face for the camera, like for the streamers. But
Hmm.
like they will rage sometimes. But a lot of the children playing, they don't. They just go all out on their emotions and let
Well,
it out on the other player.
even on stream, a lot of streamers slash gamers get really really pissed, and they use their emotions to
I
the
know that. I'm
fullest.
not blind to that.
Yeah, no,
I know
yeah.
that. It's just
Es-
usually they'll put on a better face for
yeah.
the camera
Especially people in
because it's smarter.
FPS when you or first person shooter when you like you notice some of these people and they die to others and they just start like insulting them. They go off, you know? They just yeah.
They snap.
Yeah, they snap basically. When they die, they realize that they have to start all over and they're like, "Well, shit. This dude just stopped my streak. So now I'm going to get really pissed at him because he did it." And then yeah.
Yeah, but like we were saying, like it's not really much of a like a normal thing to have because like the more popular the game is, the more hate there's gonna be and more toxic people or the ragers.
Well,
Ragers might be a better term for this.
I wouldn't say
But
the popularity has to like it does do a little bit, but like I say the game itself depends on how much people rage. Because if I'm playing Minecraft, it's a super popular game. I'm not gonna get raged for the most part. Like that game's
I
never
mean,
gonna
yeah,
get raged.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase this. Like the more popular, it depends on what type of game it is. Like
Yeah.
Minecraft, first of all, you're not going head to head with someone like any battle royale,
Mhm.
like Apex, like PUBG, Valorant, Fortnite, all those like other ones. They're really popular, but
Mhm.
like you're going head to head with actual people,
Mhm.
really.
Yeah.
Minecraft's not that sort of game to really do that.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like a game. I feel like games that have the most toxicity would be games that like you keep losing and it's like a constant streak. But it's like it's either you win or you lose, like 50%. And if you keep losing that time, that's when the most toxic can show. Like for example, Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because
to be fair though, for me, like I've seen that certain games bring out like some kind of uh, anger in me more than others. Like usually games like Fortnite and Apex Legends and stuff like that. I can usually like if I lose, I'm like, okay, whatever. Screw this. I'll be done for the day. But usually it's the sports video games that I can't really take the losing part very well, but it's not only that, it's the kind of people you also play with too makes a big difference
Yeah.
in your toxicity levels. Like for example, I play a lot with my friends in Fortnite and so or not Fortnite, what's it called? Apex Legends.
whoa, you play Fortnite?
Oh, that's so funny. No, but I play with my friends in Apex all the time, and whenever we lose, we're like, "Damn it, okay, next game." But not guaranteed that every game, and so you might get sit on a team with a different person. Like there was one time I was on a team and there was one of these squeakers who was like cussing us out because we were losing. Uh, so it's definitely part of who you're with during the game that can change the level of toxicity.
Yeah, because I feel like if it's mostly your friends, then you wouldn't be as toxic. But like if it's either with a bunch of strangers or by yourself, I feel like that's another part where it can show toxicity the most.
Yeah, because when you're playing with your
Yeah.
friends, it's more, I guess you can say, casual. Because
Yeah,
when
it's
you're
more
playing
relaxed.
alone, the competition rises because that's all you have to focus on. You're like, I want to win. I got to win. But when you're with your friends, you're like, oh, let's just talk about some stuff while we're playing. And if we lose, we just restart. We just join up again. But like,
Usually when you play with your friends and lose, it's more funny than it is mad than you are mad.
Yeah.
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 That's like the best part of playing with your friends, like multiplayer. When you die or you lose, it's more of a laughing matter than it is to like screaming and rage.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of the time.
Yeah, because like definitely in Minecraft, I can totally relate to that because usually when I play solo and I die from something, I get a little pissed off. But in like when I'm playing with my friends on the world that we have right now, like especially the big wall we're building, every time I fall off, it's pretty freaking funny because like it's 100 foot thing that I'm trying to build or 100 block
Yeah.
tall wall me and my friends are trying to build, and every time like someone ends up falling off to their death, and
Isn't
it's
like every
amazing.
block 3 feet? So
And
it's
not
like
only
300
that,
feet.
but it's not that like battle royales. Like we played Apex and PUBG. We all played that together
Yeah.
at
Oh
some
my
point.
god, losing
It
in
was
PUBG was the
it
best
was
thing ever.
hilarious. It was
Yeah.
just funny. Like, oh, we came in second, but you know what? We tried our best and had fun. Like that's really
I
the
had a
point of it.
freaking
Like,
ball of a time with it.
Yeah, but the moment when you start looking up those tutorial videos, you change your sensitivity. You start going try hard. You don't talk to your friends as much. You just get in the zone. That's when you start raging. When the competition rises, when you start getting super competitive, that's when it starts. When you lose, it hits harder, I'd say. For me at
I
least.
It
feel like
hits
I
harder.
feel like that happening, that's based on more of not what you're saying. I think it's more of like how
That's a
much you
person to
like the
person
game.
thing.
That's more of how you like how much you care about the game, a passion for it. Like if you really like the game and you want to get better, you'll usually be the person to go up faster and get better than someone who says they like it but not to the extent as that one person who's going try hard and is actually getting really good.
Yeah, but like when you care about getting better and you keep and it looks like you're not getting better because you keep losing, you'll get pissed and then you'll take that out on something. And I guess in a way that's toxicity because if you start yelling at your teammate who could be a random person, it's just at that point you're just being toxic because like you died and you don't want to
That's
die
no
because you want to
good.
get better, you know?
Yeah, and that's sort of like a sore loser sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
Like depends how well you take a loss or like criticism as well.
Yeah. Well, in a way,
Like
I'd
not
relate
just
sore losing to
not
Well,
just
toxicity.
in the
it's
game,
completely
but
fine to get upset because you lost. It's just how you handle how upset you are.
Yeah.
It's completely
yeah,
fine to be like,
people
"Damn it, I
have self.
lost,"
Yeah.
but try and handle it in a mature way.
hmm Like taking that out on others not only is sore losing, but I also think that's a form of toxicity. I think sore losing in general is just a form of toxicity. So,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can stand by that.
hmm
That is pretty much true
Yeah.
on almost
No,
all
totally.
platforms you're talking about.
hmm
That I'm pretty sure that's a common theme. If you're a sore loser, well, that doesn't really count for social media, but like for any game, being a
Yeah.
sore loser, you're more toxic.
hmm
It's not only video games and TikTok and stuff like that, but even sometimes in sports you can see a lot of toxicity.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, I saw a lot of it in sports like football. There's often quite a bit of toxicity.
Yeah,
You know,
football and
I
basketball.
remember during the I saw videos about the '85 Bears versus the Green Bay Packers, and all the time the Bears would win those games, and the Packers would be shoving other players. They'd be attacking the coach. There's a video of them pushing a guy over one of the benches.
hmm
One of them body slammed the Vince McMahon. It's Just
Yeah.
unbelievable how toxic some people can be over a sport.
And under all of that toxicity, it's just a passion for the sport. Like you really love the sport, you love the team, but like you don't really have
Not
the
always though,
self-control.
it's not always, the passion.
Well,
They're just
no.
people who can't control themselves.
I think
I
it
mean,
is a
So
usually
how
people who
passion. I
don't
think it's a
have
passion
passion,
to
why
win.
are they toxic?
I think they have the passion to win, and then when they lose, they
That is
can't
that, yeah,
handle it because they are
but
so
that's a
determined
different
to win.
story. That's a little bit different. You
Wait,
get
why is
like
it
passion
different?
for the game because there's a thing for passion of winning and passion for your team.
No,
There's a
yeah,
there's kind of
no,
a difference in that.
yeah. That's why I'm saying it's not a passion for your team. It's more of a passion for winning. Because if you lose to your rival, you know how much that's gonna hit. Like you don't want to lose to your rival. They're your rival. Like when would you want to lose? That's
Yeah.
just
But remind me of the last time a Chicago Bears attacked one of the Green Bay Packers.
well. That's
The only
because
time I can think of was it wasn't even against the Packers, was an unbelievable scene during the Bears versus Saints game where one of the Bears players went up
oh yeah, they
to
just punched him.
the guy and just freaking slapped him. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I
"What the
think I've
hell are
seen
you
that. I think
doing?
That
I've
was
seen
Do you
that.
know
Yeah.
how much you cost your team by doing that?"
Mhm.
Because they ended up getting in a field goal range and winning the game because of that.
Well,
It was unbelievable how stupid some people can be
yeah.
when blinded by rage.
Well, I'd say the reason
Yeah, a lot
why
of
there's not as much like hate between the Packers and Bears is because the rivalry started to decrease as the wow, I just said decrease, super weird. That was a weird accent. But the rivalry starts to decrease as the team's uh, skill gap grows. So I'm not going to say that could be the Bears for some years. That could be the Packers for some years. But what I'm trying to say is like how are you going to be rivals when one of you is so much better than the other? Like, it just makes sense for the most
Or
part.
you could say that in '85 too. When the Bears were so much better than the Packers.
Well, I don't know.
Well, the Bears won every game against them during those years, so
Mm.
just saying.
I'll have to look that up.
But anyway,
Yeah, I don't
anyway,
think
but
that's
like
true.
it's one of the weird things is in my sport that I compete in now, I've seen almost no toxicity in the people that I compete with. I've seen it maybe once or twice when I was at a gymnastics competition, and one guy was just walking around like it wasn't even like he was being super toxic, but everyone was pretty annoyed by it. It's just this one guy walking around topless, thinking he was so cool because he had won what
that's
was it,
kind of swap,
rings. Like it was just
but
really annoying, and it wasn't super like he wasn't mean to anybody, but it was just very came off as douchey
Yeah, I get
almost.
you.
wait, Nolan, do you want me to say what sport you play? Because kind of what I have to say, I kind of have to reference it.
Wait, he
Oh
just
Like
yeah, it's
said
fine. I don't
it.
care.
I think Nolan just
you,
said
you, play,
gymnastics.
you do
Yeah, I've
gymnastics.
Yeah.
been doing
The thing about
gymnastics. Yeah,
gymnastics, you're not like, I mean, you do compete against people, but usually a lot of it is not, because usually for toxicity, you go out on someone. Gymnastics, you never really go out on someone. Because like you do your things separately, right? You do the routine that you have to do,
right,
and then the next person does it on like the opposite team, right? And then
right.
so you can't attack them for it, like, oh, you did better than me. Like, yeah, that's the thing. You don't
I
do
mean, you
that.
can. They
Oh, you're
just
better.
don't.
Yeah.
I
I
think the
mean, that's
one
where
thing about it is often in the sport is it's not anyone else's fault that you messed up. It's
Yeah.
yours.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because
that's the thing.
in football and hockey and stuff, you can blame it on your teammate, or you can blame it on the opposing team who may have played a little bit dirty or did something he wasn't supposed to do, or
Yeah,
he
but
messed up.
gymnastics.
But in
Gymnastics,
gymnastics,
you're your own person. You're your own team at that point. Like
exactly.
you put in your part. And if
Yeah,
someone doesn't do their part right, they can't just go out on some other teammate for that. Because like for hockey example, like if you bump into them or like a wrong pass, then you can blame the
exactly.
teammate. But you're your own team for gymnastics. You do your routine, and if you do it right, that's basically your part to getting the team to win at that point. Not like baseball, basketball, where you could easily blame your teammate for like a pass or not being open or not defending, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense why gymnastics doesn't have that level of toxicity than other sports.
Can you be a little bit more quiet, please?
Yeah, I feel like it's just as long as you like try your hardest, then I think like you can develop also a way to be less toxic. But if you don't practice and I guess you'll just, be even more toxic than you were before.
I mean, a lot of toxicity is just like self control, and this can go for everything: gaming, real sports, and social media. For social media, you're most likely never gonna see that person ever again. If they're like commenting on a video or something, you're most likely never gonna see them again, right? So it's really not worth having a fight over it, like something really small about like for them hating on this one video or this like game. There's really no point. The internet's too big. You're never gonna run into this dude again or this girl again. Like you're never gonna. It's really not worth it. So it's just like you kind of have to just let it pass over you. Like self-control. This kind of goes for everything. Like in a sport, it's kind of like, okay, mistakes happen. I'll let it slide. Like you kind of just let it happen. This can go for everything,
Right.
not just sports, but everything in general.
And obviously, it's okay to go and defend people when they're actually being attacked. But if someone's just simply giving constructive criticism or criticizing something that they've done wrong and that they should try and do better in or do differently, it's not wrong to criticize people and give them, advice on how to be better. What's wrong is genuinely attacking people with your words, which is often what the quote unquote victims end up doing. It's the victims' followers that end up becoming the attackers who are attacking, this person because they criticized their favorite YouTube channel or their favorite TikTok channel. So,
I don't think it's much of criticism for like TikTok or YouTube or stuff. It's more of just like disagreeing with them. Just like they post this video and they say like in the like what was it, like the title or something? It's like this was really funny, and you just say in the comments, this is not that funny. That's what I did, and I got like beaten up on it for TikTok. Like 350 replies in one day. That's insane.
Yeah.
And like I literally just said that, oh, that's funny because I don't think it's funny. And then I got like roasted on the internet for it, or not internet, just TikTok for it. But I just think like it's self control. Like you're not gonna see that person ever again. This person's not like making like bad assumptions of them or like throwing hate to them or like actual serious hate, not like
they're
regular
just
hate
making a
saying you don't
simple
like them.
critique that, a simple criticism.
Yeah, or something that they oppose. It's like okay, their opinions are their opinions. Just let it slide.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna see that person ever again. Like you're really never gonna almost.
All right, so thanks for watching the video, guys. Make sure
Leave a
to
thumbs up.
like, subscribe, and then give us future cast ideas in the comments and tell us what you think about what we were talking about today.